Second.
I'll second.
All, everybody, Bruce, say aye.
Aye.
Just Bruce, no. All right, man.
All right. Any, well, thanks, Mike. No public comments, so moving into basketball, and I apologize, I'm frazzled right now. We wrap up our basketball program this week. Overall, except for the last 24 hours, it's been a really good season. It's exciting in our older age groups that we do have tournaments in. In the younger age groups, we stay away from tournaments just because we want the focus to be on the games and not, competitive in that last game. But we allow it in the older age groups, in our 9 to 10 boys, the 10 to 12 girls, and the 11 to 13 boys. He's mapped out these tournaments to all in on Friday night, and we're playing the championship games in those age groups out of Cherokee. So it's going to be kind of exciting. We did that with flag football, and we can kind of get that into the normal routine. I think that will be a very exciting experience for the kids and the parents too, to get them watch, on a nice court, actual school boards. It's, give them something to look up to and shoot for. Not push them to get better and continue to play and practice. Really excited about that. We are doing all-stars like we did last year with Greenville, Morristown, and Newport, right?
Yeah.
Last year it was in Greenville. This year it's in Morristown at the new landings facility. We send a 7 to 9 Pee-wee girls, a 7 to 8 boys, 10 to 12 girls, 9 and 10 boys, and this year they're adding 11 to 13 boys. So all of our older age group and our Pee-wees, and it's rec ball. It's their rec leagues, our rec leagues. I've got to pull the reins on some of our coaches that want to think it's more than what it is. I mean, it is truly a rec ball. It's one tournament, one weekend tournament, Friday and Saturday, to highlight and showcase, the kids in our program that have earned it, played hard, got better. So we started this last year, just as to try it and see, and it worked well. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, so hopefully we'll just keep building on this and get a few more rec leagues in the area to start participating. We're going to push, maybe try to host it next year if we can get the schools to get on board and give us some good facilities to use. Because it's a small money maker. I mean, I think Greenville used the money that they raised, and it don't cost us a dime. They charge people at the door, and they pay the refs out of that, and then any money left over, the host keeps it. They put a new floor in for their gyms with it. So we got to work out some logistics, because both of those facilities had multiple gyms in the same facility where we'll have to split people up, especially like at the landing where they got 4 courts. Really excited about that though. That is March 1st and 2nd. Let's see. What else with basketball? Moving on. Moving U Fitness is still going on Monday nights. Attendance started at like 17 or so, and they're having about 12-ish pretty regularly. Not bad. We need to kind of, I mean, we're publishing it on our Facebook and promoting it. We need to promote
What
that
time
more.
is it, in case somebody asks?
It's Monday nights at 6 o'clock at the Parks and Rec building. It's through the end of March. So we'll keep doing that. And I think I mentioned before, I love the fitness programs that we've done. It's just I don't know, something that is unique and good for the community, and people seem to enjoy it. So, and we're meeting new instructors, and we had the boot camp last year. We've heard from him. I think we're going to do that again. So I would expect, fitness, some type of fitness class. And it won't be the same every season, but I'd say we'll have something like that going almost year round now. Maybe a few weeks in between each one. I feel like if you just have something that's ongoing, it gets burned out, dull. If you have a start and an end date, then when it ends, people start looking forward to that next one.
And get some time to recuperate.
Yeah.
We're doing a movie, or we did a movie trivia night on January 12th. I don't remember how many teams.
Involved, I think about 10.
10 teams.
I think.
It's fun. Things like that seem to be easy and pretty popular. So, jumping a few things down, we've got another one coming up. We put one on March 8th. We're still tossing around what kind of theme it will be, but on March 8th we'll have another kind of community program night, which will be a trivia, some type of trivia night. We had a rook tournament, and those, we only had like 4 teams for it, so I don't know if it's, and you did say some of our regulars were out of town or just couldn't make it, so those might pick back up. We might take a break on those and build that, want to have it again, So we'll do them again, but we might.
It's probably pretty cold around then too.
It was. I tell you, on February 23rd, we've got Family Feud we're going to do. We got 16 teams signed up for that. 16 teams of 4.
Wow.
16
Already registered. So we might have to.
Exploring
Well,
the different options.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going to have to adjust the format a little bit.
Yeah.
It can't just be one-on-one with 16 teams. So
That's
we
awesome.
might have to have several different games going, and then some kind of tournament bracket. We're discussing all our options, but we've got.
That's a big response.
We've been putting together, our survey results, and I had a little board game type card game of Family Feud. It had all the questions and responses that we're using for inspiration. We'll pull some of those.
Which one of you's gonna be Steve Harvey?
I'm a little
You can guess.
shave the beard.
He is.
Might probably a nice 3-piece suit.
He doesn't need to. What was the one guy that kissed all the?
Richard Dawson.
Yeah, he'd go be Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
But we're still planning things every couple of weeks, little community programs till it warms up and we can get back outside and doing the bigger events where we can hold more people. But we've got a lot of ideas. We've been blocking off days for certain things. I'll keep you updated on. But while it's still cold, we're still inside. Youth baseball and softball registrations started last week.
Mhm.
And just as they always do, they start slow. But they're picking up. We run registrations through the end of next week, and then we'll have a week or so of evaluations and spring break hits. We're to start practicing the last week of March, with games starting around April 22nd, I believe. But format and most of that will still be the same. Our school teams are, the baseball started, your softball
Start
starting
Tuesday.
next week. I mean,
I had to wait on the
February and
basketball
it's
team to get
baseball
done.
season, softball season. I don't understand it, but that's the way it is. And these travel teams are already practicing when they can, but it's few and far between with all the rain we've had. But yes, baseball and softball season's upon us, which is my personal favorite.
19.
Grant updates, I don't really have too much, but tonight at the BMA meeting, you all will be presented with contracts for the First Tennessee Development District to formally administer both of the grants we've gotten. They put together our grant application, submitted it for us, but this is just a formal bringing them on board. They're paid out of the grant, so I don't believe there'll be any issues with that. Next month, we will have basically the same thing with an engineer, get them on board, and that will kind of start the design phase. Joe Parrott's the one that was awarded the RFP when we put it out there for engineering services for these grants. He was the one that was selected. Now that this will just be the actual contract between him and the city for his services. The CDBG, which is primarily paving, that is basically all civil work. So once we get him on board, he could probably start, the design work of that. We will have to go through a RFP, request for proposal process, for architectural services for the LPRF grant to design the concession stand and the bathroom buildings. There's a little civil work that he'll be able to do as far as like the paving around it, the sidewalks to and from the facilities, but we'll have to get an architect on board for the actual design work. But we should be able to go into the design phase hopefully next month, or at least start the design and get the architects on, or start the process to get the architects on board. I know with the CDBG grant, they're talking to the development district. There's 3 to 6 months worth of environmental analysis, some kind of environmental review process that they're got to go through. I know they've been working with Glenn on some kind of Native American tribal approval or something with the land. So we're still a ways out. That's where I'm going with this. We can be getting design work done, but when we can actually put the shovels in the ground, that's my guess is the earliest would be October, November, and possibly even later than that.
As far as a timeline on that, so do you think there's a good possibility that, I guess it'd be the 25 baseball season, that there won't be a concession stand in the bathrooms and stuff yet?
My hope is That to me, the bathrooms in the concession stand is first priority. That's what we'll jump on first. And I would hope that we could do construction over the course of the winter
Right.
and open it
Yeah, I mean,
in
it should.
spring of 25.
I mean, which a lot of it depends on the weather and stuff, but it should take an extremely long amount of time.
Couple
I guess it
months.
just depends on when they can actually
Um,
get started, and then I guess the demo of the current concession stand.
I think we're actually going to keep it.
Oh, really?
And we'll just turn it into storage. Because the new concession stand will sit further up towards the upper parking lot.
Okay.
So,
Good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we can board up concession windows. There's 2 bathrooms. I mean, at some point we need more storage. And we can use that. We can move all of our baseball equipment, our field material, all into there.
Yep.
That way our field
There.
supervisor, it's easy access. And
Yeah.
it's, he can pull his equipment that he needs out of there instead of using the garage connected to the building.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You don't want to tear it down that way either, and
Exactly.
it's got a
Yeah.
purpose. too.
And, one day
There
we
you
get to
save
where
money.
we've
Yeah.
got
Save some money. a little bit,
adequate
too.
storage other places, then you can tear it down there. But until then, just try to make it functional.
Yeah, no harm, no
Useful.
foul.
But honestly, that's grants go. We've got a workshop on the 23rd of this month. Another grant workshop for the LPRF. So I've not been given any indication for the CDBG other than the development districts doing their environmental review process. So I should have a better update on the LPRF next month after this next workshop we go to.
How's that drainage going? Still going?
Still going.
That's been an undertaking.
I mean, they gotta be getting close. They've gone up way farther than I ever imagined they would, up towards the pond. Somebody just sent me another grant opportunity yesterday about, I've not really looked into it, but it's through the soil conservation bunch. Look into it, see if it might be worthwhile to use towards the pond maybe. But Glenn, pull his hair out if he's got another grant to do. I swear these grants, they're nobody's just gonna hand you what we get, $1.2 million in grant money.
Yeah.
They're not just gonna hand you that without
Right.
making you go through certain steps and jump through certain hoops. That's just not the way they do, and it's totally worth it, but it's still a headache and it's still a process. But definitely worthwhile. We got several people excited, very excited about the prospect of new pickleball courts. But I'm, cautioning them, because once we start on those, we lose those. So we're trying to find somewhere else in town that, some can be built, even if it's just temporarily. But again, hopefully if we can time it out right, and try to, in my mind, and I'm not a construction guy, but in my mind, I would love to turn that whole park into a construction site from November to March or something, and get as much done as we
Just
can.
knock it out.
And if we could do the pickleball course during that time and not cause people to lose them during peak season, that would be great. Is that feasible? I don't know. It's the way these two grants intertwine with each other is very complicated because the bathroom buildings tie into the sidewalks. And that's two different grants, two different funding sources. Having paving there for the sidewalks and the roads, they go ahead and do the pickleball courts too, and I don't know, it's just a lot of things we'll have to figure out as we go through it, but still exciting times. Just looking forward to spring, some good weather, and get back outside a little bit.
The biggest thing with paving is the mobilization of stuff, so, I mean, it would even behoove us if we could plan that when the city's paving a street,
Sure.
because that's gonna save you even more money too. So, I mean, I
Do
don't
it
know,
all while they're
I don't know what
Here,
streets we have coming up this year, but, I mean,
It makes sense to kind of
and when
coordinate it if you
when
could.
those bigger companies come in, they roll with it. I mean, they don't waste no time.
Yeah, and of course, I guess it'd affect the December lights potentially too, which I mean, you couldn't help it.
Well, I mean, you look at, in the winter, there's not much paving going on because it has to be so warm for that stuff to take, right?
Yeah,
But I mean, you're looking, if you have a big company like Summers Taylor or Cap or Harrison come in, like, they'd be in the
Knock it out
park
in
in
no
no time, like, a couple days.
Yep.
yeah.
true.
So that's, that's just something to kind of think about.
I've made a note, I'll talk to Mark and
Yeah,
see what
definitely
he's
want to talk
got in
to Mark and
mind.
see which streets are on the agenda.
And when,
Yeah.
mainly when you're trying to do
Because I
this.
mean, if you had that quick a turnaround, you could do it. I mean,
Right.
maybe
Because, I mean, the transportation cost of that stuff is,
That's where it's
they
at.
just can't up and move the asphalt milling machine, that takes, that's thousands of dollars right there.
Well, we've got a lot of work, on the tennis courts that we can be doing, or outside of just paving to prepare for that.
Right.
The trees, we're gonna have to take some of that fence down.
Yeah, I mean, right now is one of the best times to cut trees. I mean, your guys aren't swamped doing other stuff. I mean,
Yeah. I'd look to see, I don't know, some of those trees are 80 foot tall. 80 foot tall, I don't know, 60
well, the
foot
good
tall.
thing is the way they're on that bank,
Yeah, they're gonna fall one way.
Right.
True. Other than that, that's all I got with grant updates. I don't have any new business. Any other comments or?
you're doing a great job. I
Questions,
mean, and
concerns?
it's awesome to see all this activity going on. Not just, in the summertime and in the spring, like year round. It's. I mean, you hear a lot of really good comments about in the community about it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. We're trying, we're working hard and staying busy.
That's a good thing.
It
Did a
is.
great job.
Yeah, especially like used to. I mean, we never have anything going on in January, February,
No.
December. I mean, this is that family feud. I mean, that just shows you how kind of hungry the community is
Yes.
for that stuff.
That's
you know?
crazy.
I mean, is that not? I mean, that's
I'm
an
not-
awesome.
Me and Matthew were talking about what if we get 8 teams? What's that gonna look like? And I told him, I was like, look, I'm just gonna shoot for the moon. What do you do if we get 20? Just I was like, highly unlikely, but what do we do?
You got more
And
time,
we're
you make-
sitting right here with
That's 80,
a
20
week
is
to go.
80 people.
I mean,
That's a lot. That building only.
sitting here a week away and already got 16 teams. So
Yeah.
we'll figure something
You might have
out.
to give up two different dates and then like have a Super Bowl family.
I'm anxious to see who's on these teams. So it's gonna be awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I've looked at the roster. There's some people I know. There's going to be some interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Nonetheless.
That might be something that needs to go live. Bro.
Yeah.
That's what I
There you go. There you go, Jeff.
But yeah, we're excited.
Motion adjourned.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Oh, y'all sign one and.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.